The A-10 Thunderbolt II, better known as the Warthog, is one of the oddest-looking strike aircraft in the world. Projecting from its blunt nose is a 30mm cannon, specially designed to destroy armored vehicles. This weapon, the A-10 Gatling gun, fires 15-ounce depleted uranium projectiles at a rate of 70 per second. The A-10 was designed specifically to hunt and attack tanks. Moving at hundreds of miles an hour, fast strike fighters find it nearly impossible to locate and destroy relatively small targets such as tanks. And tanks are so heavily armored that they require a direct hit to eliminate. The A-10, although large, is graceful and maneuverable at low altitudes in a manner not found in fast jets. The A-10's unique design came about in part as a result of the Vietnam War. During Vietnam, many expensive fighter bombers were shot down by small arms fire. The A-10 was designed to survive in the close attack environment against machine gun fire. This became very clear in the Gulf War in 1991, where Warthogs flew 8,100 sorties.
It's highly protected. We have titanium around the cockpit to protect the pilot. It has dual control surfaces, everything backup. We had one land with no hydraulics, pretty well shot up. It can take a lot of damage and it can still come back and maybe fight another day, or at least get the asset of the pilot back to the friendly side, which is real good.
The A-10 has been the ugly duckling of the U.S. Air Force in more ways than one. Before the '91 Gulf War, many in the Air Force wanted it retired from service or relegated to observation duties. They felt that its slow speed would make it vulnerable to enemy fighter aircraft. But over Kuwait, with Iraqi fighter opposition non-existent, the A-10 was ideal. The main threat to coalition planes was Iraqi anti-aircraft fire, and no other strike aircraft is as well protected as the A-10. Its slow speed and high maneuverability made it ideally suited for pinpoint attacks on Iraqi tanks and other hardened targets. One of the tactics resurrected during the Gulf War was the use of forward air control aircraft, such as Marine OV-10s. They would circle over an area and pick out targets for the oncoming A-10s.
Having a forward air controller with binoculars there to confirm that and watch what we were doing really helped out. He was able to say, yeah, those are tanks in the revetments, versus us having to go down lower altitude to look before we shot. You don't want to shoot another tank that somebody else already had and wasted munitions, so that worked out real well.
The A-10 can carry a wide variety of bombs, including both conventional and laser-guided bombs. A standard weapon of the A-10 is the Maverick missile. The Maverick can be launched miles away from its target, allowing the pilot to stay a safe distance from enemy anti-aircraft guns. As this test footage shows, the Maverick has a devastating effect on tanks. No one would call the A-10 a fighter plane, but it does carry Sidewinder missiles to defend itself from enemy fighters. And although intended to shoot tanks, the A-10 cannon can provide air-to-air protection. Although the A-10 was intended for short-distance engagements, it is fitted with a refueling receptacle on its nose, which allows it to be refueled in flight to extend its range.
Looking good right here.
Contact. Okay, disconnect. Come clear left. Clear, clear.
In combat against an opponent with a large fighter force, the A-10 would not be committed to deep attack missions. Yet once air superiority is established by other fighters, the A-10 can operate with relative impunity.